Hello and welcome to. Today we travel down a path that transcends boundaries and beliefs. We are embarking on a profound journey, a call for unity among the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Each of these faiths, different in their practices yet similar in their essence, share a common origin and a belief in the same God. This unity, however, has been clouded by centuries of conflict, misunderstanding, and unfortunately atrocities committed in the name of faith. It is crucial that we shine a light on these darker chapters of our shared history, not to incite blame or breed resentment, but to acknowledge the pain and suffering that has been caused. It is only by facing these truths that we can begin to heal and move forward. We must remember that these acts of violence and cruelty are not the true reflection of our faiths, but rather distortions of our beliefs, manipulated by those seeking power and control. Furthermore, we must confront the misuse of religion that continues to plague our societies today. Religion, in its true essence, is a source of peace, love, and kindness. Yet, all too often, it is twisted to justify greed, hatred, and division. These perversions of faith only serve to deepen the chasm between us, fueling animosity and mistrust. It's time we stand together against those who exploit our faiths for personal gain and sow seeds of discord among us. In this journey towards unity, we are not merely seeking a ceasefire among our faiths, but a genuine understanding and respect for one another. We must strive to see past the labels of Jew, Christian, and Muslim, and instead see each other as fellow children of Abraham, brothers and sisters under the same God. To embark on this journey towards unity, we must first acknowledge the painful history within each of our respective faiths. Only then can we begin to bridge the gaps, heal the wounds, and build a future where our faiths serve not as walls that divide us, but as bridges that connect us. Atrocities have been committed in the name of God, and it's our duty to confront this. It's a difficult but necessary task. We must not shy away from the pages of history that are stained with blood and tears, for they are part of our shared story. In the annals of history, each of the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, has had moments of darkness. There have been times when individuals and groups, driven by a misguided interpretation of their faith, have caused immense suffering. The Crusades, the Inquisition, the conflicts in the Middle East are all grim reminders of how religion can be twisted to justify violence and oppression. But to truly understand these atrocities, we must look beyond the acts themselves. We must examine the underlying motivations, the distortions of faith that fueled these events. Often, they were spurred on by a thirst for power, a desire for control, or a fear of the other. These motivations are not inherent to any religion, but are rather the result of human frailty. The first step towards healing is acknowledging these past wrongs. This isn't about casting blame or pointing fingers, it's about accepting our shared history, warts and all. It's about understanding that even as we strive for holiness, we are all susceptible to fallibility. Next, we must seek forgiveness. This isn't a simple or easy process. It requires humility, courage, and a willingness to confront our own prejudices and biases. It involves reaching out to those we have wronged, expressing our remorse, and making amends where possible. Finally, we must learn from our past. The atrocities committed in the name of God should serve as a stark reminder of what can happen when religion is misused. They should motivate us to promote true understanding of our faiths, to challenge interpretations that breed division and hatred, and to foster a spirit of unity and compassion. These events, fueled by religious zeal and misinterpretations, have caused immense suffering. It's time to openly admit our past wrongs and seek forgiveness from one another. Let's take this journey together, towards understanding, forgiveness, and ultimately peace. Now, it's time to address how our respective religions have sometimes been deceptively used for personal gain. It's an uncomfortable truth that some individuals, even religious leaders, have exploited the trust placed in them, twisting the teachings of our faiths to serve their personal or political interests. This misuse of religion, whether it's for wealth, power, or control, is a stark betrayal of the values that our faiths hold dear. Let's take a moment to consider some examples. We've seen televangelists manipulating their followers to amass fortunes, extremist groups twisting scripture to justify horrifying acts of violence, and politicians exploiting religious sentiments to sow division and gain power. These are but a few instances of how religion has been misused, and they remind us of the need for vigilance and critical thinking in our religious practice. We must remember that our faiths are meant to guide us towards love, compassion, and righteousness, not to be weaponized for selfish ends. When religious teachings are distorted, it's not just the victims of these actions who suffer, but all of us who value our faith. Each act of misuse chips away at our trust, our unity, and the very fabric of our communities. So what can we do? First, we must openly condemn any misuse of religion. Silence or indifference in the face of wrongdoing only allows it to continue. We must be vocal in our disapproval and show that such behavior is not representative of our faiths. Next, we must hold those responsible accountable. This means supporting systems that ensure transparency and accountability in religious institutions, and not shying away from questioning or criticizing leaders when they step out of line. Finally, we must strive to educate ourselves and others. A deep understanding of our faiths can protect us from manipulation and allow us to challenge those who misuse religion. Religion should be a source of spiritual guidance and moral compass, not a tool for manipulation or power. By confronting misuse, we can work towards a future where our faiths are respected and upheld, not exploited and distorted. Having acknowledged our past and the misuse of religion, we now discuss a game plan for lasting peace. An essential cornerstone of this plan is interfaith cooperation. This idea might seem challenging, but it is not impossible. It is, in fact, necessary. We must remember that we all are branches stemming from the same tree, the same Abrahamic origin. Interfaith cooperation is not about diluting our beliefs or compromising our values. It's about understanding and respecting the differences that make us unique, while also celebrating the similarities that unite us. It's about acknowledging that we all seek the same thing, a connection with the divine, a sense of purpose, and a world that is just and peaceful. How do we foster this cooperation, you might ask? The first step is promoting dialogue and understanding among our communities. We need to create safe spaces where individuals can express their beliefs, ask questions, and learn from each other. This can be achieved through interfaith forums, shared worship spaces, or even casual gatherings. Education plays a crucial role in breaking down the walls of misunderstanding. We should encourage schools, colleges, and community centers to introduce programs that educate about different religions. Understanding breeds respect, and respect fosters peace. Another aspect of our game plan should be joint humanitarian initiatives. Nothing brings people together like helping those in need. Whether it's a food drive, a disaster relief operation, or a health campaign, working side by side for a common cause can bridge the gaps between us. Last but not least, we must urge our leaders, religious, political, and community, to promote peace and reconciliation. They wield influence and can shape public opinion. It's vital that they use this power responsibly to foster unity, not division. Together, we can foster understanding, help those in need, and promote peace. It's a long journey, but every step, every dialogue, every act of cooperation brings us closer to our goal, a world where faith unites us, not divides us. As a symbol of our commitment to unity, it's essential to make acknowledgements and concessions. This is an integral part of our journey towards peace. It's about looking back at our shared history, recognizing the mistakes, and making sincere efforts to rectify them. This is not about pointing fingers or dwelling in the past, but rather, it's about creating a future where faith unites us instead of dividing us. Acknowledgement of historical wrongs is a crucial first step. The scars from past atrocities committed in the name of God still run deep. We must admit that these actions were wrong, that they caused immense suffering, and that they do not reflect the true teachings of our faiths. This acknowledgement isn't about blame, it's about healing, understanding, and moving forward. Concessions are equally important. This means revisiting certain theological interpretations that have fueled conflict and finding common ground. It's about realizing that our understanding of God's message is not absolute, but rather it's shaped by our cultural and historical contexts. This is a call for humility, for open-mindedness, and for a willingness to learn from each other. Concessions also involve making space for each other, respecting each other's beliefs, even when they differ from our own. It's about fostering an environment where we can coexist peacefully despite our differences. This doesn't mean compromising our faith, but rather, it means embracing the diversity within the Abrahamic family. Finally, this acknowledgement and these concessions must lead to action. We need to commit ourselves to work together for a world where faith is a source of unity, not division. This involves promoting interfaith dialogue, fostering mutual respect, and cooperating in our shared mission of peace and justice. In conclusion, we call for an acknowledgement of historical wrongs, concessions to promote understanding, and a commitment to work together for a world where faith is a source of unity, not division. It's time to turn our shared belief in the same God into a force for peace, compassion, and justice. In conclusion, the Abrahamic religions share a common origin and a common belief in the same God. This shared heritage isn't merely a historical footnote, it's a powerful testament to our innate ability to transcend differences, to find common ground, and to unite in the face of adversity. It's a call to action, urging us to embrace our similarities, not as mere coincidences, but as shared values that can guide us towards a more peaceful world. But unity isn't just about celebrating similarities, it's about confronting differences with courage, with understanding, and with empathy. It's about acknowledging the past, addressing the present, and envisioning a future where faith isn't a cause for division, but a catalyst for unity, for peace, and for justice. True faith doesn't breed hatred or discord. It promotes love, compassion, and justice. It's about lifting each other up, not tearing each other down. Let us remember that true faith promotes love, compassion, and justice. Please share your thoughts in the comments below and join us in promoting peace.